there are actual business principles right there in the Bible. Original business principles about how God intended us to operate a business. Who would ever think looking in the Bible? So we go through things in business, in life, and we think that our situation is unique, our problem is unique. No, it's not. It's not unique. It's happened before. There's a solution to it already. So sometimes I think that for me, I always say, let me tap into resources that are already available to me. Let me tap into those resources. And for me, I find that there is no separation from, the business me and the person that's called by God. There's no separation. I'm better in business. I'm better as a mom. I'm better as a wife. I'm better to serve all the things that God called me to serve because I was called by God, not separate from it. So I've gotten to a point where I don't even attempt to act like I am solutionary on my own. I don't act as if I know any sort of answer myself. I usually rely like, Holy Spirit, show me what to do about this. This is bigger than me. I have no clue what to do. This is the problem, Lord. You know what my resources are. Like, help me with this. And the way that, because I'm depending on God to solve whatever that is, the way that he just shows up for me in every situation, every business setting, and new opportunities, even sometimes in the things that I create unto God. And I know it is very different, and most businesses won't necessarily be so intentional about, no, I'm a kingdom business. I know that I'm doing this unto God. It's what I'm called to do. He called me to do it. So I believe there is no separation.
Right. And I think that really works well for you. You have Tawni Hanes Apparel. And let's talk about that, kind of how Tawni Hanes Apparel developed, the concept behind it. And you have a very large faith-based following and a A-lister following for your clothing apparel.
It's funny because my business truly did start a vision from God gave me a vision. He gave me a vision, and I remember running from it. For years, I ran from the call. And what I mean by the call is that usually whatever it is that we're gifted to do, whatever that gifting is, it's there. Then we are created, and then we come into alignment with that gifting. It is our job, once we realize what that gift is, it's our job to walk it out. And I remember when I realized there was something there, I was about 12. And when I was 12 years old, I thought I just loved just going through magazines, putting stuff together. I thought, okay, well, this is fun. This is cool. This is a good pastime. But I would lose time. I would just lose. It's almost like the outside world no longer existed. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, this is just, I felt so complete doing it. And here we are, though, we're in this world, and we have our family, we have our parents, we have society, and we're kind of hit in the face with like, well, I like doing this, but I haven't seen this model. I haven't seen people earn money doing this. For me, I hadn't seen fashion designers. I hadn't seen entrepreneurs operating in their gift. I hadn't seen it. So what do we do when we haven't seen something modeled? We retreat to what we see modeled. What I saw modeled is I saw a family that they worked jobs. They worked good jobs. They saved, they invested, they had homes, they had 2 cars. The American dream. That's what I saw. So since I saw that, I thought, well, that's what I want, right? I never considered that maybe I'm different. Maybe that's not going to work for me. Maybe God has called me to be separate and set apart. I never considered it because, again, that takes a whole lot of courage. And at the time, I was young. I can't say that I necessarily had that. And that's why I believe it's so important as parents, and I'm a mom of 4. It's so important to, when you see things on your kids, go ahead and allow them, give them room to cultivate that, give them room and space and provide them resources and encourage them. Oh, that's interesting how you see it that way. Oh, you should do this. And I don't know if it's a community thing in the Black community. I don't know if it's just a thing where parents are trying to force kids down a specific path. But instead, if we parent from a way where we understand that the kingdom has already called this baby to do something or be something, what is that identity according to the kingdom? If we would fall into that more and parent our kids from that perspective, things will be completely different. Our kids would operate more with the freedom. Sure you can. Why can't you? What's stopping you? I mean, imagine having that sort of fearlessness, like when I was 12 and just knowing this is what I'm doing. But because I didn't see it modeled, it's almost as if I didn't believe it as much, or I didn't believe in it. And even though people could look and they can see the different things that I was good at, it never really was. And nothing against my parents, nothing against my family,
Right.
because you already know how that works. It's whatever they were taught. It's whatever they were accustomed to. It's whatever society dictated to them.
Right.
So it takes a lot oftentimes for people to kind of step out and do things on their own. But I started my business very modestly when I finally got to that point where I wasn't running from it. And I remember the call just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And before I knew it, I was like, I can't make this be quiet anymore. Like, I have to do this. It was an urgency that I couldn't move past. And before I knew it, I blindsided my husband. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So was he like, okay, or was he like, think about it, or?
No, he thought I was going through postpartum depression. You know what I mean? That is what it is, right? But that leads to another point. It is not your job to convince somebody else of the vision that God gave you.
Right.
That's your vision. That's
Right.
your baby. You are supposed to cultivate that. Let me let God convince you. Let me let God do the work. And my job is just to walk it out. I know
Right.
the vision God gave me, so let me just walk it out. So if I walk it out and if I model that, He gonna come along. And I can honestly say that I've never ever in my life not felt loved. I've never felt like people were against me. But just because, and sometimes we don't get the support that we want from our families, and we use that as a reason not to start. Most of your support initially is not gonna come from your family, but
Right.
that's okay. So I've learned the validation that we're looking for, I need that to come from God. I need Him to equip me on the inside so that when I'm faced with all these things, I'm able to steward the vision that He gave me well. And so I really just began walking it out. It was scary. It was scary sometimes. I really didn't know exactly what to do in certain season, but the Holy Spirit would always speak to me quietly and just say, I'll teach you, I'll show you. And every single time He had some sort of ram in the bush, every single level I would get to, I would just miraculously all of a sudden learn how to do certain things. And I look back now and it's like, you can't help but to see the handiwork of God. And so it's like, why wouldn't I honor Him in my work? Why wouldn't I honor Him in all that I am and all that I do? I have to. I have a responsibility.